Say 2 bombs exploded near the finish line of the Boston Marathon. The blast happened about 15 seconds apart. There's one right there on the right side of your screen, just before 2 o'clock Central Time. Authorities described the bombs as small, portable devices. KSPR reporter Joanna ran that race earlier today, and she joins us now live from Boston via Skype. Joanna, nice to see you there. Where were you when the bombs went off? Let's start with that.
I was about a block and a half away, Joe, and actually this is a really good time to show you this map. I don't know how well you can see it because it's Skype, but you see this circle right here? This is where the bombs exploded. This is the finish line. And then here where this X is where my husband Mark and I were standing. This over here is the family reunification area. We had just met, and then we moved over here. We were sitting kind of like, I don't know, just by a building, by a large mall. It's called the Prudential Center. There's a mall and restaurants, and this is actually where the fitness expo was yesterday, and he was bandaging up my feet, and we were getting ready to walk inside and go to lunch, and that's when we heard the first 2 explosions. So that kind of gives you an idea of how close I was. I would estimate that as about a block and a half away from where the explosions occurred.
So you heard what happened. Did you know what had happened at the time, or it was far enough away? Did you see anything that had happened, or were you just wondering?
I was actually looking in the opposite direction. And my eyes immediately went to all the skyscrapers because I was thinking 9/11, great big boom. So I was looking at these skyscrapers. I didn't see any smoke in the sky. My husband, he's former law enforcement and has experience with these kinds of things. He was deployed in Iraq. So he immediately said, that was an explosion. And I said, no, it couldn't possibly be an explosion. And a few other people were saying, what's happening, what's happening? And one woman said, maybe it was a cannon, because it was Patriots Day in Boston. And, you know, this was my first Boston Marathon, and I didn't know how they celebrated the end of that. And I thought, yeah, a cannon would make a whole lot of sense. And my husband said, no, I really think that was an explosion. And I said, okay, Mark, don't scare people. You know, don't say that too loudly. And he said, I just want to stay right here. So we kind of backed up against the building where we were standing, and I kind of crouched down, and he said, let's just stay right here till we get a little bit of more information. And that took a lot longer than we thought. You probably had information faster than we did, because when you're on the ground, it's so chaotic and people are so scared and rumors fly rampant, and it's really hard to get the story straight. But we saw police officers running, fire trucks, ambulances immediately, and that's when it clicked. Clearly something was not right.
Joanna, we only have a couple more seconds, but after running a race like that, I'm sure your emotions are all over the place. Lots of people have family there. What's going through your mind after that happens?
Oh, so much. So much when the marathon ended. I was happy, and Mark and I were celebrating. We were taking happy pictures, and then you hear these 2 explosions go off, and everything changes. And it doesn't matter anymore that you ran a marathon. It doesn't matter anymore that you're there with all these world-class runners, the best runners in the world, and it's this point that you work up to for years just to get there. All of a sudden, the only thing that matters is everybody okay? And they're not. And so when I think back on this day, I'm not going to think about the race. I'm going to think about what happened in Boston and remember the people who lost their lives and lost limbs. And that's a horrible, tragic thing, and it changes everything.
All right, well, we're glad you finished, and drive home safely. We hope to see you very soon. Thanks, Joanna, for your time.